Good morning guys, welcome to another video. Split in my eye, may have just woken up, so bear with me. Anyway, welcome to the office. I'm gonna bring in the next car. Just a quickie, we got some fog lights and a DC5 to chuck in, so we'll get that apart and see how we manage that. Some foggy boys. You go chill bang in there. So it's a whole kit, which is brilliant. A little bit of saggage here actually. Let's see if we can fix that. Oh, you can see the lower bar in there. It's a bar that kind of clips on. Yeah, might have had a little frontal impact or something. Take this off, tidy that up. See if we can get that straight. What's this side like? Oh, perfect. A little bit of the clips come out, that's fine. Now, the most important thing, homemade banana bread. Funny, move house for a bigger garage. Get a bigger garage. Fill up all the space. So, some plugs, decent quality, watertight, that's good. If you need to cut and make any splices, obviously we'll use appropriate heat shrink. It's hard to get a fall. Oh, got instructions. Hold down. Nice. Right. Need a bigger bin. So we got our lights and everything, obviously. Yellow foggies. That trim's perfect because this evidently doesn't have it either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this bumper off and we'll get into it. We'll start having a look where we can run the wiring and all of that and go from there. Alright, so bumper off. Easy. Got our instructions. It's all fairly straightforward, very straightforward indeed. Hardest part is your routing and how clean you want it. Obviously I'm a little bit anal retentive, so I want it all very well tucked and hidden. These kits are actually really good. So you need everything from a OEM style switch, which in Australia I believe is actually a legal requirement. They need to be relay and separate from your lights, from like your main lights, your parkers and stuff. You need to be able to switch them on and off. Same with the light bar. Runs down. This switch actually has its own independent wiring, which is good. Then you get your signal, which comes off into this massive loom. A little bit daunting, but it is actually nothing too intense. And that triggers your relay. Relay provides power direct from battery and earth to the lights, so they get direct source right from the battery. That's what you want. You don't want to load up the switch wiring and all of that. You end up cooking things, starting fires. Not good, trust me, experience. We got the fog lights, so yeah, very straightforward. Firstly, I'll be running the Loom. That's going to take the most time. All of this stuff is fairly self-explanatory. You got your screw holes, your clips. These kits from Winjet Automotive actually come with all the required clips and everything here. But I will note with these kind of kits, it is always a good idea to use thread lock, because just the vibrations and everything all up the front they tend to walk out because you can't tighten these too much. They're not top of the line screws. They're not bad screws, but they're not top of the line, so you can't wank on them and really tighten them down without stripping them. Use thread lock instead, get them nice and snug. Yeah, so I'll run all this Loom, chuck those in, and yeah, just show you little bits and pieces as I go. Now, this is a OEM style switch. The RSX doesn't give you too many, well, DC5 doesn't give you too many places to put it, i.e. 3. And I've already got one for the old sunroof. So all you have to do is pop this out and you can push these out, and hopefully this is going to be a nice fit in there. It looks like it is. These ends kind of taper in a little bit more than what this does. This is more of a square, but we'll chuck it in and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, use your removal tools. Don't get a screwdriver in here, especially these dashes are really soft. I know, because I've kind of marred mine in my DC5. Don't use a screwdriver to get the stuff out because you'll leave an imprint on the side and it will just never be the same. Get some of these, they're fairly cheap. Use them for the rest of the interior and just kind of pop it out. You can see these retaining clips on the side, comes out fairly easily. And then, yeah, you can see, easy as that, these pop out. We'll push this one out. That's it, that's all it is. So if you've got like an alarm or something, what you do is you just take the center bit out here, you just chop that little piece there out, drill a hole, and that's where your little LED goes, or you got any other switches for like bulk nitrous or whatever you want to run your underglow and things like that. That's the best place for it, nice and easy. And then that's it. So as I was saying, these kits are very, very, very nice. They don't give you some crappy looking switch. It looks OEM. It will light up once it's on and off, and with your lights and stuff, so very nice. On to the next part. I'll start running the Loom through the firewall and get back to you. We are bracket making. So the relay and the fuse, I understand my drawing, it's fine, you'll see once it's done. There's no real mounting point for that in the car, under the dash and everything. You can probably tuck it and hide it, but then it's not really a functional fuse and relay. If you need to change it, if you need to check it, you got to dig up under there. So I'm going to just find somewhere in the engine bay. I'm going to make up this bracket real quick, see where we can mount it. Okay, so that's done. I'm sure I could have just tech screwed it to the side of the car, but I think that's a little bit crude. No tripod. So, you slip on the side there, you go up there and get a little bolt, and then that's essentially the setup. Little bracket. I'll try and hide that somewhere. See how we go. Found myself somewhere to mount it. Stainless hardware, riveted on the relay with some more stainless hardware. We've got the fuse on there. It's pretty hard to show you with one hand, but the fuse is still serviceable. You can just do this a little bit tight. That's kind of the reason. So that slides on and off. A couple of layers of just insulation tape there just to hold it snug. So if you ever need to check and change the fuse, just do that, and boom, slide it on, drag this around, and I'll show you with it mounted because there is no way I'll be able to do this with one hand. Well, zip tie to hold the cable just in case it gets tugged on by anything. We'll go on to the next little step here. Made a bit of an alteration to the Loom, or I am making an alteration to this Loom. The yellow wire, that is the relay trigger wire, allows the relay to switch on and off direct from the battery. That was run through the Loom and came out kind of at the front there, and I believe that's so you can hook it up directly to your park lights or whatever you have at the front. Makes it a bit easier because those are the plugs for the actual lights themselves. yeah, so I went through the loom, pulled that out, snipped it, and the reason I've done that is because I want to run that into the cabin, and what I want to do is kick some stuff around. I'll sleeve it and I'll run it all the way through. There's already a hole that's been put in the boot in there for this amp wiring that is apparently not attached. So I'll just sleeve it, follow through, and then there's only one wire that needs to go in the car, which is nice, tidy. The power wire for the relay. Going to drill a hole in the back here or something and feed it into the fuse box. So, oh yeah, nice. We've got a couple of free terminals here. I would like it after the main, just so it's fused like everything else, or essentially double fused. And only on the ignition, so yeah, gonna be a bit tough. I don't want to drill through the lid. I have to find somewhere underneath, or maybe go through this little panel here. Anyway, that's where I'm at the moment, just playing around with the loom. Okay, so this is the plug for the sunroof, and it will be the same with your mirror and most common other plugs in Hondas too, or Acura, whatever you got. Most cars actually. We need an earth, so I'm finding a common earth for all the plugs in the car, notably black. And red and black wire here is hot when lights are on. So doesn't matter if your ignition or anything is on, you'll be able to turn on your fog lights, but the key thing here is it's audioable. So if you leave your lights on and get out of the car, you'll know, and that's essentially the best way to wire up these lights, because nobody likes a flat battery for leaving their lights on. So that's what I'll be doing. You'll be able to turn his fog lights and just the same as your headlights, same circuit. Yeah, just thought I'd show you that. I'm just going to splice in here. Keeps the wires nice and short. They just need to run to this other one here. So I'll be pulling this loom apart just to shorten it, because it's they give you a good whack of wire, which is good if you've got to run it across the car, or it's left hand to right hand kind of deal. So I'll pull this apart, and the only wire I need to run across will then be this yellow, and that is to this side here. Oh, you literally can't see that. No, to the passenger side and the footwell. I'll show you. I'll pull through the other yellow wire, and that's it for interior wiring. All done and dusted. I'll show you the finished result, and we'll go from there. So I always find, obviously keep these separate. Testing before heat shrinking, usually a good idea. So car is off, ignition's off, gives you an audible warning that they're on, and the beauty of this is that it lights up as well. So it gets brighter when they are actually engaged, dimmer when they are not. And that's just when your lights are on, so yeah. I'll heat shrink these, finish that off, and we'll go hunt down the other side of this bad boy. Tracing the yellow wire. So she comes in from the firewall, runs up across there, see it, let's pull it up, this bad boy here, and see the yellow runs across and comes out this side. Just got to connect it to there. Gonna replace these cheap little plugs here just for something a little bit more robust. I guess that's the word I'll use. Yeah, something a little bit more robust, and obviously I will go through, zip tie this line all the way through. There's a few other loose bits and pieces in there. I'm going to tidy that up too just while I'm at it. And that's that side done. That's this whole side of the firewall complete. wiring is done and just kind of chilling on top at the moment. That's the yellow wire from the firewall up to the relay. That's your signal, so you push the switch, it trips the relay and you get power to your lights. We've got the lights plugged in. We have power as well to the relay direct from battery, so this is through the fuse box right through the bottom there, and that's that. So chuck some tape on the lights as well, just in case they get bumped, knocked over and roll over. Not my job to scratch them, someone else's job, they can do it. Yeah, so it's audible warning, keys out, cars off, lights on. Oh, beautiful. Look at that, no fires. So the reason that I've done it that way is so just in case if you didn't have the audible warning and you accidentally left them on and walked off in the car, you'd come back and you'd have a flat battery. I've done it multiple times. Not ideal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will put the car back together now really. I need to install the lights and the covers into the bumper, which is a piece of piss. Finish the wiring, well, tidy the wiring and just secure it so it's not, you know, doing all of this. And yeah, I'll show you once I'm done. The foggies are done. Looking pretty good. I actually had to use the left hand side bracket on the right hand side and the right hand on the left hand side. Something a bit funky with this bumper and the holes weren't quite lining up, so tried it, flipped them, worked out pretty mint. And as you saw, it's fully functional, so you can take the fuse box 1, 2, 3 clips. The clip back there is a little bit how you going, a little bit cactus, but you get the point. You can take the whole fuse box up and off, put it to the side, and access your fuse and your relay just down there. We've got the wiring runs through the firewall. It's all tidy, it's all tied up in there, it's all, you know, as it should be. There's a terminal just below the steering wheel where you can actually unplug it from the switch, and yeah, fairly clean, fairly tidy install. Looking pretty good, gives it a bit more character, I reckon. Come back here. Look at that. We'll get some shots with the actual lights on. And interior wise, very, very subtle. I got the key in, so apologies for that. Oh, this thing just doesn't stop with the beeping, does it? Seatbelt. Okay, so does not work unless you have your lights on. So that's how it is with just the lights on. Looks a little bit more dazzly through the camera, I think. And then headlights, and then that was the fogs on. I do quite like how it's got the two different modes, just to kind of tell you, let you know that it's on. Chuck them on. Maybe start her up. So we don't get a flat battery. Beautiful. Much more character. And the install itself is also very tidy, so that's a bonus. You don't even notice anything's changed, and that's kind of how I like things. Nice, simple, clean. If you have a look, you can usually see it, but otherwise, you know, a little bit more subtle. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the video. I probably look like trash, given that I've been doing this all day, back and forward with a few other things, and it's raining, so my hair's probably a mess too. Yeah, any questions, any comments, any suggestions, anything like that, you know where to put it. Sounded worse than what I meant, but either way, do what you want. Yeah, thank you for watching. Maybe give us a like, subscribe if you're really that keen, and yeah, see you on the next one.